Yo, it's Kevin and welcome to another video. To start off, I'd like to make a few quick announcements. First of all, thank you very much for the kind comments and tips. 2 comments asked if I could make these into a series and if I could do Interchange next, so here you go. Also, someone asked if I use stims for the customs jumps, notably Adrenaline and one I dare not to pronounce, which will both increase your strength. I totally forgot about those, to be frank. After learning about them, I decided to include them in the video, and I will continue to test their usefulness for the next videos in the series. So as long as you're not Arnold Schwarzenegger, you will need to use these stims for some of the jumps. Keep in mind, while it's cool to stick needles in your arms, your energy and hydration levels will be drained very quickly after use. So stay safe and use with caution. Don't forget to bring something to eat to restore your energy and something to drink to replenish your hydration. A combination of Emery or lunch boxes and pineapple juice or water is ideal. Now, just like Private Tony, you might be asking yourself, but Kevin, what will happen if I run out of energy or hydration? Well, I don't know if you ever played Dark Souls, but I can be very clear about that. You die. Long story short, stay damp. One final thing before we begin. I'm not going to cover every single jump that's in the map because I don't want to waste anyone's time, and I will only be including the ones that I find are worth showing. So that includes the really obvious ones like the sniper towers or the roof at the power station. I will not be showing those in this video because everyone and their mother knows how to get on top of those. And this video will be long enough even without them. Saying that, Interchange will be covered in multiple parts because this map is just too big to properly cover in one single video. Now that speech is out of the way, time to drop the mic and pump up the jam. As always, we'll start off with the map and the link to it will be in the description. In this first part, we'll be covering the outdoors area of the map. We'll be starting at the parking lot right in front of the main entrance to the mall and making our way clockwise around the building from there. Now, there are a lot of vehicles on this map and they all behave in a similar way, so this kind of fan you can just jump up on the nose and get access to the roof. So I will only be showing off this once. From there, making our way towards the north, still on the parking lot, right in front of the Ultra store. You'll see a lot of similar shaped tents and you can get on top of them, giving yourself a really nice line of sight looking right down the main entrance. Pretty good spot to go prone. So this is one of those trucks exactly like the vans I showed you earlier. They are quite plentiful on the map and they all behave in the same way. Jump up on the edge of the nose and from there you can get on top of the hood. So these tents are actually a lot better to look into the underground parking. Get on top of the barrel, jump up from there, and if you're careful, pay attention to how I'm positioning myself on these. Stick to the edge and make yourself as small as possible. So the enemy has less of a target to shoot at, of course. Continuing our way up north, still in the parking lot. There's this truck. This one's pretty cheeky. Jump up from the boxes into the back and then you can position yourself in between the loader and the cabin. And this is a pretty cheeky spot, very central to the map. A lot of people will enter and exit the mall area from here. And you're covered from one side. Really hard to spot. Did you know? There are go-karts called supercarts that can reach speeds exceeding 260 kilometers per hour. That's 160 freedom units. While recreational go-karts are usually intended to go much lower speeds. And the go-karting scene has spawned a lot of Formula 1 champions, such as Sebastian Vettel, Nico Rosberg, Ayrton Senna, Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher. Now, those guys may have reached the highest peaks of their careers, but can they say they also reached the heights of this roof? I don't think so, because I've never seen them up here. And in my humble opinion, they should really give it a chance, because this is one of my personal favorites in the outdoors area on the map. It's nice and quick and it gives a lot of good sightlines. So after you've made your way back down, continuing to move up north, you'll come across this cabin on the edge of the idea store, and you can actually get on top of this roof, but you may want to stick a needle in your arm first, because I wasn't able to get on top of the blue fence with only level 5 strength. So as you can see, after using the stim, my strength level is level 30 now, and this enables me to get on top of the blue fence and from there on top of the roof. This one's really nice if you want to cover the road. So we're at the northernmost part of this road now. And this is the sniper tower I said earlier I wasn't going to cover, but you've been deceived, so congratulations. And right now we're walking west to east on towards the next spot. This is a really cheeky place if you're fighting somebody who's in the underground parking. Of course at the north side now. Alright, so we'll continue our way west to east looking at this map here. On towards the power station. So not a whole lot going on in terms of jumps on the power station side of the map. Of course you can get access to the roof, but that's just following the staircases and I promised not to show it, so I'm not gonna for realsies. And this is one of those fans I talked about earlier. Use them to get on top of the red shacks, to give yourself a nice line of sight when fighting people on top of the ramps. But when you find yourself in such a situation, this spot is even better. Quick tip, jump on the left side of this loader. I found it to be the most consistent way of getting up there. Now this one obviously gives you a lot more cover than the one on the red shacks, and you're partially blocked by the trees on the left side. So I would prefer this spot over the red shack spot. From the power station, make your way down towards the south end of the map. This is another nice cheeky spot to be. If there's people fighting in the underground parking, this is a place they most definitely won't be looking. Coming up next isn't the most glamorous of places, but I still had to include it. Nice and easy, still a decent place to surprise people from. Now take note of the ramp leading up to the Ollie store, because we'll be going there next. So when you're at the back side of the Ollie on the ramp, you'll notice these staircases leading up to the roof, but it's actually blocked off, which is a shame in my opinion. But just use them to run down and launch yourself off them and land on top of this bit. And from here, if you walk all along the edge, you'll find another place that you can jump down. Right here. I found out there's a bit of an invisible wall over here. So that's why I make these videos, guys. I break my legs so you don't have to, okay? So don't do this. So the map makes a comeback. Don't let these boxes fool you. They don't lead to anything useful. It's much easier to just use this truck and get behind these white crates. Exiting the area, you'll come across this loader and you can use that to jump over the blue fence as so. So I don't know the official call out for this area, but I like to call this playground because there's a lot of goofy stuff going on, a lot of goofy jumps, and makes me feel like a kid again. It's a bit like Jungle Town, if any one of you remembers that. Those were the days, running around on the obstacles, busting your head open. A shame really that they put an age restriction on those kinds of places, right? Anyway, a bit of a sidetrack there. As you can see, you can get on top of these containers. And if you bring a sniper rifle, you'll love this. So if you think this is good, wait until you see me fly. Quick tip for those running jumps is to sprint, take 2 steps and then press spacebar. So this is still in the playground area. A bit of a variation on the spot I just showed you. Another side tip is that I actually bound my sprint button to press instead of hold. Walking down the sniper tower I said I wouldn't include in the video. And we're looping back onto the highway in front of the Ultra store entrance. Directly from the highway towards the Ultra you'll come across this truck, and I will show you this one because this is better than most of them. Continuing our track up north, you'll come across an excavator, and you can actually jump in the loader. So you made it all the way to the end. Well, congratulations and thank you. And stay tuned for part 2, which will cover the indoor areas of the map Interchange. Kevin signing off.